What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to go over every single support in the game, and by support I mean damage amplifiers and how well they work with each and every DPS from 3.0 onwards. And by that I mean the THerta, Aglaea, Mydei, Castorice, and Anaxa. I will be updating this list as more characters release in the future, and I will also be leaving a link to this Google Sheet in the description below. If you enjoy this type of content, let me know by liking the video, leaving a comment section below, and consider subscribing to the channel. Also check me out on twitch.tv/iSUMMON YT. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. All right, starting off with Castorice, obviously we're gonna start with the best in slot. Tribby is gonna be best in slot, hands down. There's no competition. Obviously, if you don't have Tribby, the second best in slot, and I'm also going to denote it as best in slot because if you are going to run a hyper carry team for Castorice, these two are going to be your best in slot. Is going to be also RMC. For those of you who don't know who RMC is, because I've been getting a lot of comments saying that you don't know who RMC, HMC, SW, Jiaosho, you guys don't know what they are. I'll try to say what they are. This is Remembrance main character. These two are very, very good with Castorice. Like I said, best in slot. They provide a lot of damage amplification. True damage for RNC is insane. You get it like 47%. You get 30% vulnerability from Tribby, 24% rest pen. Also incredibly strong. Ruanmei is a S tier support here. You have weakness break efficiency coupled with also rest pen, and then the rest pen that Ruanmei provides also adds up to Castorice's own rest pen, which amplifies the dragon's damage by a lot, which makes it a very, very good support. She also gives her a little bit of damage bonus, 68% if you have enough break effect, which makes it very, very good. Robin, even though she does advance the dragon when it's out, she gives a lot of attack, and a lot of her attack bonus, not a lot, all of her attack bonus gets pretty much wasted. And if you're going to be forced into a situation that you're going to have to ransom her ultimate for an extended period of time if you want to advance the dragon as well. And a lot of the times you don't even want to advance the dragon because you don't have enough HP. So therefore, I think Robin is not a great support for Castorice. Moving on, Sunday is also an S tier. The only thing with Sunday is that he is a little bit tricky to play with Castorice, since you're gonna have to just wait until the dragon is out to do your ultimate, and you're just gonna have to be a little bit more experienced when you play Sunday with Castorice. But if you can get the playstyle down, Sunday actually buffs Castorice quite a lot. Jiaosho is a very, very good damage buffer. He gets you about 35% vulnerability multiplier increase with his zone and all max stacks at E0 as 0. If you have the Resolution Shine Portals with Lycone, you can get an extra defense ignore anywhere from 12 to 16. So it's a good damage amplifying capabilities that he has. He also has a blast and an AoE attack with his skill and ultimate, which means that if you have Gallagher and you have Besotted on all the enemies, you can actually get quite a decent amount of healing with Jiaosho's attack, making him a very decent option. So I'm going to give him an A. Fugue, I don't think Fugue is going to be that great with Castorice. It's just not good. Like, she just provides a little bit of defense ignore and gives her the ability to break everybody, but she already just kills everything anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's just a waste of slot. You might as well just use RMC because it's free, and or Ruanmei because it's also free. For the same reason that we have a RMC as a best in slot option who is free, and because we also have a S tier Ruanmei option who is also free, Sparkle is not going to be such a great option. Sparkle does provide a little bit of attack to Castorice, but she doesn't care for attack, so it doesn't matter. The damage bonus is good. 48% damage bonus is okay. The crit damage provided is also very good, but you can only action advance either Castorice or the dragon. You can't action advance both. So, and most of the time you're going to be action advancing Castorice so you can fuel up the dragon. It's okay. It's not terrible. I'm just going to give it a B. Actually, I'm going to give it an A because it's a little bit better than Fugue and definitely a little bit better than Robin. So I'm going to give it an A. HMC, haven't even thought about trying Super Break Castorice. It might be a meme team, you know, kind of like a meme team to try. But I don't think for meta-wise, if you just want to clear, if it's between using RMC or HMC, just use RMC. So I'm just going to give it a C here. Actually, it's probably worse than... Nah, I'll give it a C. I'll give it a C. Pela is actually a very, very good and interesting option. I would also give it an A. The same thing as Jiaosho. All of Pela's actions are hits, and if you have the best in slot sustain, which by the way, I'll make a video on that sometime later. If you have the best in slot sustain in Gallagher at E2, you get a lot of healing from characters or supports that can hit the enemy. That's why Tribby is best in slot. So Pela having an AoE ultimate gets you a lot of healing from Besotted, also a lot of defense reduction as well. Moving on to Silverwolf, because Silverwolf is only single target, she kind of falls off tremendously. If you're only playing against one enemy, which is very rare these days, then I guess she could be an A tier support. But because she is only single target, she just falls off pretty bad. It's pretty much a joke. If she gets a buff that she's able to infect more people or blast or AoE with her debuffs, then she might be a little better. But as she stands right now, Silverwolf just doesn't have a lot of value. Bronya, she's just the worst version of Sunday. She gives a lot of attack. It's like if you mixed the bad parts of Sunday and the bad parts of Robin, and then that's how you get Bronya. So she is just pretty bad. I'm just gonna give her a C as well. She's just pretty bad. It's just nothing else to say. Tingyun gives attack and energy, both things that are just completely wasted on casters. So I'm just gonna give her a D. Asta gives you a little bit of attack. She gives you speed. And I think fire damage, almost none of them you use because Castorice gives herself speed. She doesn't care for attack. So also a D. Gonaifen is kind of in the same realm as Pella. She's like a little worse version of Jiaosho. So if Jiaosho is a B tier, I'll just give Gonaifen a C tier. Hanya's in the same boat as Asta, giving you speed attack. She gives you a little bit of damage bonus, but it's not that important. So obviously we're just going to give her the same letter. And then Yukong, she just doesn't work with anyone. She's just she is the worst support in the game. So unfortunately, Yukong is going to also receive a D. All right, moving on to Anaxa. Even though Anaxa hasn't released yet, he's pretty much a very cookie cutter, very simple character as a hyper carry to build. He mainly wants attack, speed, and crit stats. That's pretty much all he wants. And a lot of characters provide those buffs. Obviously, aside from the damage bonuses, the rest pens, the defense downs, vulnerabilities, you can just play him in so many different ways that I'm just gonna start with the worst supports, like Yukong, for example. To make Yukong work, it's so terrible, so we can give Yukong D for all of them, actually. And another one that doesn't really work too well with Anaxa is Silverwolf, because it's a lot of redundancy. You know, Silverwolf does exactly the same thing as that Anaxa does, but worse. And you could get a lot of defense reduction from Silverwolf, but if you're going to use Silverwolf for defense reduction, you can just use Pella, who is an S tier rank character for Anaxa, because you can get 100% defense ignore or defense down with very low investment. So those are the worst characters right here. We're going to go ahead and go from the top again. Ruan-Mei, I'm going to give Ruan-Mei an A, because you could run Super Break Ruan-Mei. And Ruan-Mei also provides red pen and break efficiency, which honestly we can give her an S, but there's honestly so many S characters for Anaxa that is not even funny. All right, so Tribi, obviously Tribi's gonna be an S or best in slot for pretty much most of them. Robin gives Anaxa everything Anaxa needs: attack, damage bonus, extra actions, anything that Anaxa needs, Robin will give it. The same thing as Sunday. The only thing that Sunday does that Robin doesn't is the energy, and that is pretty much it. So these two are going to be your best in slot for hyper carry when it comes to 5-star supports. Jiaosho, also very good. Another debuffing character here, so we're going to give this one an S as well. Very, very good. Fugue as a break character, even though running break Anaxa or super break Anaxa could work, I don't think it's his best playstyle, so I'm not going to give it a high grade right here, but it could work. That's why I'm giving Ruan-Mei and Fugue and all the break characters. Let's put HMC here as well. We're going to give all those an A, because it does work, but it's not his best playstyle. Sparkle, if you run the Hyperspeed Sunday, Hyperspeed Sparkle, and you double action advance Anaxa, that team goes crazy. RMC is also an S tier support here for Anaxa, giving you other action advances and true damage as well. Bronya is also an S tier character with Anaxa. The only thing with Bronya, actually we can demote Bronya a little bit to A, because the only bad thing with Bronya is skill point economy. So you're going to have to run Bronya with somebody who doesn't use any skill points at all, because Anaxa does use some skill points. Tingyun, I think it's another S tier character with Anaxa, giving you damage bonus, energy, speed, and attack. Very, very good. Asta, also an S tier character here. Asta gives you speed, attack, and that's pretty much all that that Anaxa needs. With the amount of speed that you're getting from Asta, you can go so many times. It's insane, especially if you are on the Eagle set with your Anaxa. Gonaifen, I will put this one in A, because it's a little bit worse Jiaosho. And then Hanya, actually we'll put Asta also in A, because you don't really get that much damage bonus from it, and we're going to give all these an A. So Anaxa is a very, very versatile character. like I said, a lot of options you have here. Like if you have Robin and Sunday, or if you have just one of them and you have Tribi, or you have Ruanmei, you have Fugue. Well, actually, Fugue is a. If you have Sparkle, RMC, which you should have, Pella, a lot of options that Anaxa has, and he's going to do a lot of damage as a hyper carry. He's also a sub DPS, so very, very versatile character right here. All right, moving on to my boy Mydei. He's pretty much almost in a very similar scenario as Castorice, being HP scalers and all. Ruanmei, although people say that, and you know, they technically have some sort of anti-synergy in which if the enemies are broken, they won't be able to hit you, and it's true, you are going to be able to break them faster with Ruanmei. However, Ruanmei's damage amplification is actually very, very high, so whenever you do launch that Godslayer Be God, everything is just gonna blow up. Everything's gonna die. You know what I'm saying? Like Ruanmei and Tribi's damage amplification is pretty on par. They're not. Tribi's a little more, but Ruanmei's not lacking too far behind. So Ruanmei's actually, for me, in my opinion, and I've played a lot of Mydei, it's an S tier support in my opinion for Mydei. Tribi, best in slot. Tribi just insane. The action advance or the extra turn could be useful in a no sustain scenario, but for most people, you are going to be running a sustain, kind of like Gallagher or Huahua or whatever, and the attack kind of goes to waste. So I'm gonna put this at like a, I'm gonna give it like a C, maybe a B if you're gonna run no sustain. But in most cases, it's going to be, actually it's gonna be a B because you can run no sustain. With Castorice, it's a little bit different because you kind of want to run a sustain with Castorice. Here, you could run a no sustain and have Robin there for the extra cheeky turn. So I'm going to give it a B on Robin. Sunday is going to be the second best in slot Harmony character. For obvious reasons, you get energy, you get action advance, and you get a lot of damage bonus as well as crit damage. Pretty much everything that Mydei would need from a Harmony character. Insanely strong. You also have a lot of options of teams that you can build with Sunday. For instance, you can run super fast Sunday and super slow Mydei, as well as fast Mydei and then slower Sunday, so you can get double actions on your Mydei. You can also run Sunday with Sparkle, which in this case would be an S tier character with Mydei, because you can run that double sustain. And in the same token, we can talk about Bronya, which we could also put an S. I would personally give it an A because you kind of waste a lot of the attack bonuses and stuff, and she is a little bit more skill point hungry. But you can also give it an S. I wouldn't go too crazy over it. Like if you want to give it an S, it's fine. I would personally give it an A, but I will get, like, let's put an S here just because it's good. Mydei benefits a lot from personal action advances, as you can see. All right, moving on to Zhao Shou. Zhao Shou is also incredibly strong. Like pretty much the best debuffer in the game, with the 35% vulnerability on the Godslayer Be God, and then 50% vulnerability on the ultimate. Mydei is going to be doing a lot of damage. You can run this in a one Harmony character, in a one Harmony team, or in a no sustain team, and is going to work fantastically well. Break Mydei with Fugue, I don't think it's gonna, I haven't tried it. I don't know if it really works. So I'm just gonna give it a B. Actually, I'm gonna give it an A. I'm gonna give it an A. He doesn't have normal toughness multipliers. He does have a little bit higher ones, but like I said, I haven't tried it. I don't think anybody's looking to play Break Mydei. So for that reason, also HMC, I'm gonna give it also, I'm gonna put him in B. I'll put it in B because it's not, I don't think it's meta. I don't think it's good. RMC, also very good. Let's give it an S. RMC is just destroying the meta right now. Super strong, giving it true damage. If you don't have either Sparkle, if you don't have Sunday, you can slot him in there. If you don't have Tribi, you can slot him in there. Very good. Pella, also an S tier character here with the defense down. Actually, I'm gonna give it an A. I'm gonna give A to Pella in here. The only reason I don't want to give an S to Pella is because we have RMC for free, and there's no reason to run Pella if you're going to run RMC, because you just get more turns, you get more damage by running RMC. Silver Wolf, I mean, if that's the only thing you have, then sure, but I mean, otherwise it's just B at best. If you're going to play against one single target enemy, which again, the meta doesn't favor single target enemies right now. The only one we have currently that's kind of like that is Hule, essentially, and it's not really that important. Ting Yun is actually surprisingly good, even though the attack is wasted. The energy and the damage bonus actually helps a lot. Asta could be decent. Guanaifen is like the worst Zhao Shou, so I'm going to give it an A because 28% vulnerability is actually very good. And then Hanya is just a little bit better. Asta, and then obviously Yukong. Even though you could do some tricky plays with Yukong. She's just too hard to make work. So, all right, moving on to Aglaea. Aglaea has actually a lot of decent options, believe it or not. I think Mydei is one of just the characters that just works well with pretty much everybody. I'm going to give it an S. The rest pen, again, the damage bonus, weakness break efficiency. You actually keep them broken for a very long time. And remember, if you break them, they get delayed. They get extra delayed. And then since Aglaea and the Memo Sprite are going so fast, you get a lot of turns with them broken. And you're doing 10% extra damage by them just being broken. So that's kind of like a pseudo damage bonus that Mydei is getting on top of whatever already she does. Tribi also very, very good with Aglaea. E1 Tribi is probably going to be in the best in slot realm, but E0 S0 Tribi also very, very, very strong here. Also rest pen, you get a little bit of not a little bit, you get a lot of vulnerability, a lot of rest pen here. So very, very strong. Tribi's going to be S or best in slot for pretty much the rest of the cast because Tribi is just that good. Robin also is an S tier character, but in no sustain teams, she is teetering between best in slot or S tier. If you're going with a no sustain team, Robin is a best in slot. If you're going for a just a dual harmony or hyper carry scenario with a sustain, then she's going to drop down to an S, because the reason being is that RMC is also here, and you can use RMC, which is also one of the other best in slots, but we're not going to do that because there is a definitive best in slot character for Aglaea. No other character comes close, and this is going to be Sunday. So Aglaea and Sunday are like, you can say like Acheron and Jiao Shou. Aglaea really, really likes Sunday. You get action advance, you get energy, you get damage bonus, you get crit damage. Sunday just does everything that Aglaea wants and some. So because of that, because there's no other character that could possibly replace Sunday, Sunday's the only best in slot here. Everybody else who are good are just going to remain in S tier, and it is what it is. The only other one that can possibly go up is Robin, and if you're going to go on a no sustain comp, and that is pretty much it. All right, moving on. Jiao Shou, because of the debuff nature of Jiao Shou's kit, the debuff lasts a long time, or they last until you kill them, because Aglaea doesn't run out of the buffs, and that way you can take advantage of the debuffs and get a lot of damage amplification that way. So Jiao Shou, very, very good. Fugue, I don't know. I haven't tried Fugue with Aglaea. I don't think it's very good. I don't think Break Aglaea is going to be a thing. So I'm going to give it a B. Sparkle, I don't think it's that good. Actually, I'm going to give this a C, and then Sparkle a B. The only reason I'm giving Sparkle a B is because the Aglaea team doesn't use many skill points, if any at all, because Sunday's going to give you skill points back. Aglaea doesn't use almost any skill points once she is transformed. Actually, not even. She doesn't even use skill points even before she transforms or she gets the Memo Sprite out. So skill points go to waste. Action advance, since it's only 50% on an already super fast character, doesn't really do too much. So Sparkle unfortunately loses a lot of value there. HMC, the same thing as Fugue, we're going to put it in C. Pella is pretty much the same thing as Jiao Shou because of the debuffing nature. Silver Wolf is just the worst Pella because you get a lot of defense down, but it's only applicable to one target, which, you know, could work, could not. Bronya also very, very good. I'm going to give it an A. It's just a little bit better than Sparkle in my opinion. You get a lot more attack from Bronya. You also get damage. You also get speed. So Bronya, very strong. Tingyun, very good. You get pretty much everything that Sunday gives you except for the action events, and you get a little bit of that if you run Tingyun on Dance. So even then, Tingyun extremely good. Asta as well, very good. You get speed, you get attack, which is pretty much everything that Aglaea wants. You want a little bit of energy, but it's okay. Speed and attack is also very good. Tingyun is S, chat. I'm sorry. Tingyun is S. Guanaifen is going to be kind of like the same thing as Jiao Shou and Pella. So let's give it a B. Let's give it an A right there. And then Hanya is pretty much the same as Asta. Let's give it an A. And Yukong is Yukong. We should give it a D. Yukong is hard stuck on the D. All right, lastly, we're going to talk about the THerta. Mydei, honestly, it's just a great character. Again, provides a lot of rest pen, damage bonus, yada. You know the deal. Tribi is honestly the best in slot here. Tribi just provides a lot of damage and a lot of stacks, a lot of damage amplification via rest pen vulnerability. But the main thing here with Tribi and the THerta is the amount of stacks. So Tribi with her ultimate hits everybody on the field. With the follow-up, hits everybody in the field. And with her basic, hits 3 people. So what that does for the THerta, it's pretty much supercharged the THerta. And whenever you have a team that can fire off ultimates left and right, with Serval or with Anaxa or with Argenti or with whoever, you're going to get a lot of follow-ups from Tribi, and you're going to supercharge the THerta with Tribi, at the same time increasing a lot of your damage. All right, moving on. Robin is going to be a S tier character unless you're going for no sustain. If you go for no sustain the THerta team, then she is going to be the secondary best in slot. But otherwise, if you are going to run a sustain on the THerta team, she's going to be an S tier character. Sunday, the same thing. He's going to be an S tier character here. He provides action advance for whoever you choose. Also energy for THerta for, to get your enhanced skill up and running. So very, very strong. Jiaoshu is actually a very, very good character. I really want to give him an S. The only reason I'm not going to give him an S is because Sunday and Robin are right here, and he's not as good as them, but he's actually very, very good with the THerta. With this kid, oh my god, what the hell was that, chat? My brain just malfunctioned. Yo, what the hell? Everything in Jiaoshu's kit is going to help the THerta stack. He gives you vulnerability on the enemies, and his ultimate hits the entire field, helping you stack, and the skill hits 3 enemies, helping THerta stack. He also is built very, very fast with the win set, so you get a lot of turns, also giving you a lot of stacks. So Jiaoshu, very, very, very good. Fugue looks absolutely horrible in this list, but promise you, when we go over 2.0 characters, Fugue is going to look incredible. Moving on, Sparkle is going to be a B tier character. Very good. Her ultimate damage bonus applies to everybody on the field, so it does affect both erudition characters, but her crit damage only affects the one character you are buffing, which is why it's not as good in a team like the THerta that has 2 DPSs. RMC, even though I just said that it only applies to one character, the amount of damage that RMC gives to the THerta via true damage is astronomical. So this is the only exception here, that buffs only apply to one character, but it's still an S tier. Incredible. Actually, no, Sunday's the same way, but RMC is so good. As you can tell, 3.x, he's best in slot or S tier in pretty much all of these characters. So incredibly, incredibly good. Super Break, THerta, absolutely not. Pella, very, very good. A tier, it's pretty much the same as Jiaoshu. Not the same, but the same concept. You know what I'm saying? You have defense down, you attack enemies, you get stacks. Silver Wolf, a worse version of Pella. All right, I'm gonna put Bronya in B, the same tier as Sparkle, even though Sparkle does have that damage bonus that applies to everybody. Bronya does have a 55% attack that she can bring to whoever the other erudition character is, which is going to, in my opinion, offset the scale a little bit. Tingyun's actually an A tier character here. As you can see, Tingyun in here, for characters that use energy, Tingyun is insanely, insanely good. So if you have it, very, very good. She's going to give THerta energy, damage bonus, even a little bit of speed if you have Eidolon. So very, very good. Tingyun stays winning. Asta here, we're going to give it a B. Gwenaifen a B because it's the worst Jiaoshu or worst Pella. Hanya also a B because it's not needed as much. And obviously, Yukong is Yukong. All right, guys, that's going to be my list of ranking of every support for every DPS in 3.0 so far. I will be updating this list as more characters release, and I will also make this list available in the link in the description below. So let me know what you guys think about this. Did I hit it on the mark? Is it a W? Is it an L? Put it in the comments. And until next time, guys, see ya.